Mo Drabowski of the 66 Orioles, and Todd Worrell of the 85 Cardinals. That's Todd, Mo, and Todd if you're scoring at home. I'm David Loy.
I'm Mike Greenberg. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Fran's fancy feet, Barry's backward runs, and Gunther Cunningham's football odyssey. It's not exactly how you draw it up, so throw out the game plan. Today on NFL Films Presents.
Hold on to your seats for this play, folks. What kind of a call is that? This is when the big dogs come out. This one's for Don.
NFL Films Presents is brought to you by Edge Pro Gel. Lose the phone, save your skin. And by DirecTV. What are you looking at?
When we drafted Tim Duncan, I invited him to my home to get ready for the season. He was learning so much.
That doesn't count. You were out.
The roses are out, Timmy, not the daisies. So one day, you brought this into my home.
That's something I'm proud of.
I calmly explained how Edge Pro Gel protects better than foam because it has 8 rich lubricants.
David sure know how to make a guy feel comfortable.
More lemonade, Tim?
Edge Pro Gel. Save your skin.
The roses, Tim, are out of bounds.
Yo, with the gnomes. The gnomes can be out of bounds.
No.
Range Rover, the most advanced thinking ever found in a 4x4. Visit your Land Rover retailer for unbeatable lease rates on a Range Rover.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school in an exciting instructional video. Baseball World's Defensive Drills video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansi and the same techniques that produced his back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Collegiate Baseball Magazine's editor calls it a masterpiece, the best drill video ever produced. This video is endorsed by top professionals like superstar Fred McGriff.
This is the instructional video that gets results.
The Defensive Drills video benefits players of all ages and ability levels and makes a great gift too, so call now.
Welcome to Football Fantasy.
There's 2 minutes left. You're down by 6. Who do you want guiding the drive?
I want a seasoned veteran that won't make any rookie mistakes.
I mean a young, strong-arm quarterback. Not some old geezer.
You want a young, good-looking guy who can get out of the pocket.
Oh, time's up.
It's tough to choose.
No, it's not. You get NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV. Choose the games and players you want to watch all regular season long.
DirecTV. What are you looking at? Now get 3 months of programming free when you get DirecTV.
What Fran Tarkenton drew up in practice, he often discarded on game day. Truth is, his scrambles were the bold steps of a pioneer. And by showing the NFL what a quarterback could do, he set an example of what a leader should be.
I don't care how bad your team is. That quarterback ought to be able to make first downs, make that team, drive that team, get first downs, and get points on the board. I think I came in more as a pocket quarterback. Everybody's a pocket quarterback. That was the role models. But, you know, we're a young team. We didn't have, great offensive line. We couldn't knock people down. We couldn't protect the passer well. They beat me to death. I mean, they bloodied me. And I said, I've got to do something. I've got to change how this position is played, or we're not going to win a game. I just didn't accept the sack. I started running to try to buy time to be able to throw the ball down the field, because at the end of the day, the quarterback is going to beat you not with his speed of running down the field, but of throwing the football and completing passes and moving the yardsticks.
One of the greatest years that you ever had was, I think, the first year you were with the Giants. And that might have had worse talent than the Vikings had in their expansion team.
They did. This was a team that before I got there in '66 were 1-13. And yet, that was my most satisfying year because we were 7-7. And it was a ragamuffin team that played hard and played together, had heart and had soul. And for us to be 7-7 was like being 14-0 with any other team. It was my best year. It was the best year any team that I played on had ever had.
In looking at films, we were saying that, you know, Fran was running the West Coast offense with the Giants in the late 60s.
We were, and let me tell you how that came about. We didn't have a big offensive line, and we couldn't blow people off the ball. So we had to use the short passing game to be our running game. So I'd hit Bob Tucker, who nobody knew about. He led the league in receiving 2 or 3 years. I'd hit Tucker Frederickson. I'd hit Joe Morrison with short passes to the tight end out of the backfield. And then we get everybody to come up. I'd hit Homer Jones way down the field for an easy, long touchdown pass. I took that system, if you would, and I took that to Minnesota. We expanded that system even more so than we had it in New York.
By the mid-1970s, Tarkenton established all-time NFL records in every major passing category. But one honor was always beyond his grasp. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 3 defeats.
The Super Bowls, they were devastating to me. But they are a driving force for me because it shows me that to have success and to have some worth and to help people, I cannot take anything for granted. Maybe I took something for granted in preparation for the Super Bowls. If I could have completed 1 more pass or 2 more passes or 3 more passes or made 1 more move or watched 1 more film, maybe I could have made a difference. It drives me. It really drives me. It is my biggest defeats. I followed it with my biggest victories in life, in business, in sports.
1 year after his 2nd straight Super Bowl loss, Tarkenton drove the Vikings to victories in their first 10 games and won the NFL's Most Valuable Player Award.
Fran Tarkenton's record-breaking 291st career touchdown pass.
Had it not been for a series of tragic events beyond his control, this 4th quarter drive against Dallas might have been remembered as the defining performance of Fran Tarkenton's career. For it personified his belief that a quarterback must explore every possible way of moving the football.
This was our best Viking team, and we made a magnificent 70 or 80-yard drive to go ahead, and then all of a sudden, the world stopped. My life stopped. My life stopped right then and right there. My world was over. But now, that wasn't the most devastating thing that happened to me that day, because I get outside into one of the trailers that we had to watch the 2nd game, and Jack Buck came on television and announced the death of my father. My father had a heart attack watching the game in Savannah, Georgia.
Was that the first time you heard about him? It was on television?
On television.
Nobody came to you before and said, Fran?
No. First I heard of it. Someday, huh?
When you look back now, what were the greatest influences that he had on you as a player and as a person?
He showed me love. He showed me passion. He showed me caring about other people. I watched him go out and give of himself to other people, to help other people. He gave me a model to live by.
When I fell down and disappointed him, instead of kicking me around and telling me I was a no-good so-and-so who wasn't like they used to be, he pulled me up in my deepest sorrows and disappointments and hugged me and told me he loved me and let me understand what love was all about. That little 5'6" man who did not know whether the football was blown or stuffed loved to watch his son play football. And he died watching me play football when we played in the famous Hail Mary game against the Dallas Cowboys in a playoff game, and he had just finished a sermon in Savannah, Georgia, and died some 10 years ago. That little man is not with us today in person, but I know he's looking on. And I know he's proud.
You talk about coming back from defeat, and the real character is a person that's down and then gets back up. And you used a phrase called curing of the soul. What exactly do you mean by that?
If you're in the arena and you're living it and you're experiencing it and you're putting yourself on the line every day of your life, boy, you get the aroma of the day, and you get the feel of the life, and you feel all the stench and the sweetness and the disappointment. And I think that in order to develop the soul of a human being, you have got to almost enjoy it all. I do. In some mystical way, I enjoy the losses because I feel them. I feel that Super Bowl. I feel it today talking to you. I feel it wherever I am. I enjoy the feeling that I'm alive, that I've got some spunk, I've got some spirit. It does make a difference. It does impact my life. It does, but it's not going to control my life. I'm going to use it to make me better.
Would you like to be like John Glenn?
Yeah.
We'll suit you up one more time and send you out?
I would. I've always loved the sport of football. I love the strategy. I love the thinking. I love the playing. I love the camaraderie. I love all that. And I love to watch it now. Like Brett Favre. I love to watch Brett Favre play. He's outrageous. You know, I like to watch Steve Young play because he plays all out. He runs, he scrambles, he does pirouettes, whatever he has to do. But I miss playing so much that sometimes I cry during the game. I like to watch games by myself. I like to watch them with other people. I cry because I want to play so much. You know, I really, at age 59, would like to go back and play again. I know they would kill me and I couldn't do it, but it frustrates me that I cannot go back and play it. I still have dreams of going back at my age and playing, and we're there to play the Super Bowl again, and we won.
Tarkenton's fantasy has become a reality for some of his disciples. That's what NFL scouts look for now. Mobile, versatile, resourceful quarterbacks. They're looking, but they'll never find another Fran Tarkenton. And it's worth noting that the man who showed the NFL what a quarterback could do is an example of what every professional athlete should be. Young at heart, passionate about every facet of the game. A warrior to the end.
The year was 1926, and a place called Balmoral Park put Crete on the map. Thousands flocked there to be part of the scene, and also for the heart-pounding excitement of big-time racing. Yep, those were the days, and they still are. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 6:30. Balmoral Park. It's right in your own backyard.
Don't miss any of the action at historic Balmoral Park, conveniently located on Dixie Highway in Crete.
Next time you're thinking of buying a new or used car on the internet, click this. AutomallUSA.com.
The Packers go head-to-head on ESPN Sunday Night Football.
It's going to be a battle of the Bays, baby.
I don't get it.
Tampa Bay versus Green Bay. The battle of the Bays.
You know what I like? I like that Old Bay seasoning. Makes a really tasty crab. Is that from Tampa Bay?
What?
I love a good crab, but shellfish repeats on me like nobody's business.
Oh, real nice.
It's the Buccaneers against the Packers on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL primetime at 7:30.
Handoff goes to Barry Sanders. Bounces off a tackler. He's still on his feet. Now they got him again. No, he gets away. Oh, what move!
The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. But for 10 seasons, Barry Sanders usually chose the scenic route.
Oh, Lenny Mackerel! I thought he was down. I did too.
About 50 yards to lose 1 yard. It was the prettiest yard you've ever seen lost.
Barry Sanders is the NFL's second leading rusher of all time. He's number 2 going forward. But with 1,114 yards lost, he's number one going backwards. It's a staggering amount of negative yardage. And when you look at what his statistics might have been, those losses take on a greater significance. Consider that Sanders lost an average of 110 yards per season, while the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Walter Payton, lost only 64 per year. And his career average of 5 yards per carry jumps to an astounding 6.3 when you remove his negative yardage. But Sanders never pretended to be a straight-ahead north-south runner. He often passed up the first hole he found, always willing to risk a loss for the reward of a big run. It may have been unconventional, but this two-step up, one-step back technique added up to over 15,000 career rushing yards.
If someone said, Barry, I want you to hit the hole no matter what, Barry Sanders would never be the runner that he is. He has the ability to make a grown man look silly.
And you really have to take the chaff with the wheat when it comes to evaluating a runner with Sanders' style. Of course, there's a lot more wheat than there is chaff. And it almost reminds me of a great slugger in baseball. Sammy Sosa, when he hit 66 home runs in the '98 season, well, he led the major leagues in strikeouts that year with 171. But very few people know that. But you have to take some strikeouts with some home runs.
Without his serpentine losses, he wouldn't have had such spectacular games.
He was tied up twice, and he just kept pounding those legs, and he scores.
Somebody has a great golf swing, you know, not that I know anything about golf at all, but I would imagine if you try to change it or tweak it too much, you know, you throw a man's game totally off. And I think that Barry Sanders' style is such he's going to take a couple of losses, and then he's going to pop one for 60 yards.
You stop him, you stop him, you stop him, and then see you later.
Never all week. Don't let him outside when it's dangerous.
If he's running right and I'm on the left side, I can't relax. And the coaches will say, everybody has to get to the ball because the first guy won't get him. So I look at the coach and say, well, thank you for having faith in me. You're telling me I can't tackle Barry Sanders. In a lot of instances, I can't.
You don't spin, just stay where you are. I mean, he's the kind of guy to come right back to you.
You stand in amazement at the things that he would do and only envy his ability and his style of running because he has his own style and no one does it better.
When Barry Sanders had the football, no one knew which direction he'd go in next. But his most startling move was carried out off the field when he retired last summer at the age of 31. Although he remains on the sidelines this season, don't be surprised if he suits up again. After all, sudden stops and starts are what made Barry Sanders a legend.
Holy mackerel, what a run by Barry Sanders. That is one of the more incredible runs that you will ever see.
Hey there. Time for a holiday. So switch up your computers and take a national holiday with National Car Rental. Spend some time with National Heroes. Or visit a national treasure. Join the National Football League. Or take your kids to a national park. But wherever you go, National will get you there fast. Because with hundreds of locations nationwide, it's hard to find a place that's not a national city. Whoa! National Car Rental. What are you waiting for? Let's go!
Looking for a wireless phone is enough to make your head spin. Analog, PCS, calling areas, night minutes, weekend minutes. Then I went to Circuit City. They helped me find a great phone and the perfect rate plan.
Circuit City has wireless phones from top brands like Nokia, Ericsson, Motorola, and more, and rate plans to fit every lifestyle. Right now, you'll get a free $40 Circuit City gift card with your wireless phone purchase. Let Circuit City clear the air on wireless phones today.
Tonight on ESPN at 7, Georgia, Tennessee, 10, College Game Night, and at 11, Sports Center. On ESPN2 at 7 RPM tonight, at 7:30 NFL Tonight, and at 8, Clemson at NC State. And on ESPN Classic at 6, the 86 Campbell Conference Finals, 8, Behind the Fight, and at 9, College Basketball Classics. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
my real mother, but it's my stepfather. Didn't really know my real dad, and my real name was Neumiller. And when I was adopted, that's how I became Gunther Cunningham.
American Air Force Sergeant Garner Cunningham met his wife not far from here, Munich, Germany. Katerina was raising her son Gunther about 2 miles from Dachau.
I didn't know what it was. I was about 8 to 9 years old. We used to sneak across the fields and look into the former concentration camp. You'd rummage around and you found either expended shells from the war, or sometimes you'd find real ones in these fields. For a young kid, without being told exactly what was going on, it was difficult to figure it all out.
He did get curious about it. When the parents don't understand, me as a mother don't understand what was going on, it's hard to explain to a child.
Of course, once I got to the United States and started middle school and on up, you know, I was in shock with how close I really lived to that. She remarried when I was about 11, and my stepdad brought us across the ocean.
When we came to the country, the first thing he wanted to do was sign up to play football.
I was in a fight every day, I think, till I was about 16 years old. Not being able to speak English, having the first name of Gunther, sitting in the back of the classes, you know, waiting for them to call out your name, and you just be petrified. Took all my frustrations out on the football field. You could legally raise all kinds of heck without anybody penalizing you too much, and I enjoyed it.
He got his share of penalties for hitting out of bounds and things like that, because he wanted to make sure he got the guy. It took him a while to settle down. In fact, he didn't settle down until he was in college.
At the University of Oregon, his passion became his profession.
I met this coach at the University of Oregon, whose name is George Seifert. I was going to graduate that summer, and I really didn't know what to do. And I sat down in George's office. He looked at me. He said, "Boy, I've never seen a guy with more passion for the game than you have." He said, "You got a coach?"
However, I distinguished that in Gunther. It was there was just a sense that he loved the game. He loved the game of football, and he loved the teaching aspects of it, the emotional aspects of it, the art of it.
Upon graduation, Cunningham began a 30-year coaching odyssey that took him to 4 different colleges and 6 different pro teams. In 1995, he became defensive coordinator in Kansas City.
Tell you something, when this guy makes it, and he's the head coach, he's got me to thank, because I'm the one who said it first. That's true.
In 1999, he was named head coach. The good soldier who waited so many years to be the man in charge is now in a hurry to make up for lost time.
Let's go. We're wasting time. Slowing down, man. We got to speed it up. Pick up the tempo, man. Pick up the tempo. We're dragging.
Getting in and out of the huddle is a problem. We're still not quick enough on that part.
He's inherited his stepfather's military mindset, being on time, being disciplined, and of course, wearing proper uniforms are mandatory at Camp Cunningham.
As soon as you get some scissors, cut 31 undershirt off. I said I didn't want those damn things sticking out. Chris, get 25 too. Cut them all off. Damn guys are hard to hear it. I don't want no shirts hanging out underneath the jersey. Next guy, I'm going to get his equipment guy. We'll cut his yin-yang off. Now, doesn't that look better? Now, take a look. Take a look. Doesn't that look good? Yeah. Well, damn, that's what this game's all about.
I gave him one piece of advice. Gun, it'll all get done. I worry about him working himself to death.
He's got to watch himself, because he'll get caught up in that whole thing, and he will live and die with not only every win and loss, but he'll live and die with every series and every play.
If I'm going to die, I'm going to die in this game. I don't want to drive to a fishing hole when I'm 80 and have a heart attack. If I'm going to have one, I'm going to do it doing this job.
I don't know what makes him to put all this energy and these hours into football. He never explained it, really. I don't know. I don't know. But I always said if you want to succeed at anything, you have to work hard.
WIN is the most important thing in our life, is that word. WIN. That's all that matters.
He ain't getting off my practice field. I'll make him stand there and puke. Hey, the other thing, I yell a lot. But I'm a good man.
Gunther!
You can learn a lot about a man by the people who admire him. Maybe you learn more by the kind of people he admires.
One guy that I really admire, who I never really coached, Phil Simms, is one of my real heroes. I like the way he played the game, and we competed against each other a lot. He and I have spent a lot of time this last year in particular talking. I think he feels where I came from and what I've done, and to be able to have friends like that and have respect from guys like that makes me feel good.
Wow, you know what? You give me chills. I really got chills just listening to it. But a guy like Gunther Cunningham, you know, those are the guys that are the backbone of the league. They make it work. To see a guy like him get to become a head coach, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. It's 10 years too late. And I'm so happy for him. And it makes me proud of the fact about athletics, about the National Football League, that hard work, success, and all that, the good things come from it.
Run it and play defense. That's what we got to do. Run it and play defense. I love you. I love you. God, you make me proud.
From a child in post-war Germany to head coach in Kansas City, not exactly how you would draw it up. Sometimes Gunther Cunningham himself can't believe it happened.
Sitting at a stoplight, and I'm driving a Cadillac, and it all hit me that I was the head coach of the Chiefs. And at that time, I was in a car by myself. It was late Sunday afternoon, and I said, only in America. Only in America.
It's a typical American success story. Just about any way you look at it. I mean, the kid worked hard from day one, and now he's up the top. And that's all you can ask. Sure, you got to do a lot of hard work to get there, but it's worth it when you get there.
He always said one comment when I did anything wrong was he gave me the name, he would take it away, and I don't want him to do that to this day. And, you know, I want him to be proud of that.
I gotta admit, I'm proud of my kid. I really am.
Never want him to think that I wasn't proud to be his son, and like I said, if it wasn't for him making the decision to adopt me and to bring me to this country, I could never have accomplished anything. And I'm a long ways from finishing my job.
When we drafted Tim Duncan, I invited him to my home to get ready for the season.
He was learning so much.
That doesn't count. You were out.
Next week, Minnesota's first fan, Governor Jesse Ventura, talks about his ties to football, past and present. Plus, the long arm of the NFL and the long arm of the law, NYPD Black and Blue. Law and Order, next week on NFL Films Presents.